Good afternoon. Robert Scribbler. It is August 27th, 2018. Thank you for joining me for another climate change and clean energy video blog. Now for this segment, I'm going to talk a bit about climate change communication and why it's so important to support the source of scientific communication on the issue of climate change and to not provide false balance for anti-factual claims, and as climate communicators to do our best to provide the most accurate information possible on the issue of human-caused climate change, not to showcase a debate, but to provide a public service. And to this point, I'd just like to call your attention to the fact that Jonathan Porritt, Carolyn Lucas, Clive Lewis, and 57 other writers, politicians, and academics have signed a letter to pledge not to give credibility to those who deny human-caused climate change. And it's worth noting that there is no factual basis for climate change denial or denial of human causes to climate change, that climate change denial has no basis in science or in any other factual avenue of study. I'm just going to read the first paragraph of this letter. I'm going to go ahead and add it to the links so you can read it in The Guardian. And so the first paragraph notes that we are no longer willing to lend our credibility to debates over whether or not climate change is real. It is real. We need to act now, or the consequences will be catastrophic. In the interests of balance, the media often feels the need to include those who outright deny the reality of human-triggered climate change. In fact, the factual basis for a human cause to climate change is stronger than pretty much any other theoretical basis for any other theoretical science. I'm going to go ahead and talk a bit more about climate change misinformation, because there's a lot of climate change misinformation out there, but we need to be very clear on the actual science. And I'm going to go ahead and play this temperature anomalies by country, as this particular graphic was posted by the UNFCCC, which is a climate change communications body. And I'm just going to go ahead and play this video. So as you can see, it starts out in the 1880s and moves in through the 20th century. And so if you see blue, that's when it's cooler than normal, and if you see orange to red, that's when it's warmer than normal. And of course, this video runs through to the present day, and as we get closer to the present day, you start to notice a pretty clear graphical trend. And this is the net impact of greenhouse gas forcing on the Earth's surface, that the world is warming, that the primary driver of climate change is fossil fuel burning, and that the more we burn fossil fuels, the more the Earth will warm, and the more negative impacts that we will all experience, such as extreme weather events, harm to ocean health, increased prevalence of heat waves, glacial melt, sea level rise, and numerous other very harmful factors that have the potential to dramatically reduce all of our standards of living, to reduce the productivity of the Earth, and which we all rely on, and to potentially shorten lifespans and to harm our ability to produce food and support human civilization on net. And so this factor of human activity, it represents a threat to each person living today. And that's one of the reasons why we need to be very careful and listen as much as we can to scientists and to factual sources on the issue of human-caused climate change, and to, as communicators, be willing to correct facts when we get them wrong, and to provide updates, because the understanding of climate science is a moving target, and so we need to work more on the issue of accurately communicating what is now an event or a series of events that represents a global crisis that is driven by our burning of fossil fuels and our related emission of carbon into the Earth's atmosphere. And the reason why we need to do this is because it's in the public interest, and it's in the interest of every person and everything living on this planet that we get this right. So thank you for joining me, and I'll be chatting with you soon.